Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of PCs and EVs. In today's video, thank you very much to Key Hyundai Genesis of Milford, Connecticut for loaning us the Genesis G80 Electrified. So we'll be taking a look at how the car drives, the interior, the exterior, the space inside, just all the good luxury bits of this vehicle. It really doesn't seem to have a Hyundai comparison. It appears to be based on something of a 450 to 600 volt battery architecture, which is something I've never seen before from an electric vehicle. We're just charging it up right now. We've actually filmed almost all of the video and everything. I just forgot to shoot an intro. But yeah, I've absolutely loved my time with this car, and I hope you guys stick around to find out why. I think it's time to start showing you guys around the interior of this vehicle. It is extremely luxurious, and oh my god, it's so comfortable. First off, I just love the wheel and everything. A lot of times you can just drive with your hands down here on it. It has your lane centering / lane keep assist. It's got your cruise control buttons. You can select a mode. You can go to like your favorited thing. So you can set that top button, which is the star, to do a specific thing. You can click on mode, which would also do something along that same line. You've got your voice commands, you've got your make or end call, you've got really clicky add regen and remove regen paddles. You actually have a 3-dimensional gauge cluster, which I know won't show up well on camera. In the bottom right corner, you can see the amount of regen as I play with the paddle. Goes up to, it has 1, 2, and 3, as well as 1 pedal drive. It's just a really nice car. I do have the car preconditioning and everything, just because I want to heat the battery up so that I can try and do some additional testing with it for you guys. The door buttons are all laid out very nicely. You've got a very nice mirror adjuster. You can set up to 2 memory seats. You've got auto windows at the front. And let's check the back. Other than the fact you also have a shade at the rear. Yep, 1-click auto window. Obviously, they're going to be dual pane windows. You've got your climate right down here. You've got a wireless charging pad right there. 2 USB ports. 1 for just charging, 1 for data, so you can do like Apple CarPlay and such. Your start-stop button is actually going to be, sorry, I gotta refocus the camera, right here along this really good feeling wood trim. Like, this is just, it feels so great. You've got some of like your infotainment stuff, such as map, navigation, radio. I need to stop the radio. It is also a touchscreen up here. You've got media so that you could go to like CarPlay. You've got another favorite button and then setup. You've got your gear selector here, your drive mode selector here, your 360 cam selector right here. And actually this widescreen makes it so you can have so many things up at once. You've got volume and tuning. This one just brings you to the home screen right here. You've got a menu button, which will give you the option to reorder the icons or turn the display off. And you've got this selector here that's just a rotary dial. Unfortunately, there is no wireless CarPlay or Android Auto with this vehicle. That's something that you kind of just deal with on a lot of these Genesis models, as well as the higher-end Hyundai models. For some reason, the base Hyundais get wireless CarPlay, but the ones with the larger head unit don't. They must have some agreement with the navigation person or whatever. I'm not 100% sure. And as far as up here, you do have a sunglass holder. You've got your Genesis Connect button, this one, which will turn on all the lights. I don't know what this button does. Oh, there's a shade for the rear window. Watch this. I'm going to push it again. And you can see the rear window shade goes up and down. We'll try that one more time. Yeah. Wow.
That is nice. Things I would have literally never even thought of. Now, I will say this has the same Highway Drive Assist 1 that my vehicle does. It works extremely well. It's great at lane centering. It's great at adaptive cruise. And I'm really glad that this vehicle also has the battery preconditioning so that you can warm the battery up whenever you're going to charge. And actually, if you also remote start the car while it's plugged in, it'll precondition the battery for better driving dynamics. You'll be able to pull a little bit more power out of the battery right away compared to a cold battery, and it would automatically do that anytime you start the Climate remotely. Now, as far as right here, you've got 2 cup holders, and actually if you click right here, this splits open. We've got some paperwork in the middle here, but you have a little tray. I don't actually exactly know where the tray is supposed to go. I think it's supposed to be right here at the back. You've got a 12-volt outlet, and you've got a little extra room here, not much. As far as the rear seats, they are so comfortable to sit in, and you even have a rear center console. We'll hop in the back in just a couple of minutes and take a look at the rear. One more thing before we switch into the back, you do actually have turn signal, or stalks rear turn signals, and you control your wipers and everything from this stalk right over here. No messing around with a screen or anything like that, which is good. Now, stepping back here to the back, you do get a dedicated display for rear climate, as well as your own controls for if you want the fan cranked or if you want it on auto. You do not appear, it doesn't currently appear that you guys get, that we get heated seats in the rear here. However, the seats themselves are sculpted just like the front seats. Very, very nice quilted leather. These seats are extremely comfortable. And actually, even if you're someone tall, I'd say you should fit pretty fine in the rear. You do have little cutouts for your legs and everything on the back of the seat in front of you, as well as a seat back pocket on each of the front seats. I'm 5'7". I tend to sit with my feet farther forward, so my legs are against the seat the entire way. However, if you're taller and you like to sit with your knees or your feet in more, your knees may come up a little closer to your chest and everything. Honestly, it's still quite comfortable back here, though the seated position is relatively high up. I will say, headroom-wise, you don't have a ton of extra room, I am noticing. Sorry. You do get, as far as the windows, you do get sunshades on each of them. And actually, this center seat, when it's flipped down, let's move the buckle so that you guys can take a look at this. When the center seat is down, you get a set of cup holders here. You have the ability to, when I push the button, you can control the rear sunshade from the back here, which is nice. I will say there is no sunroof in this model. I believe the gas version does get it. This is by far a much quicker car though. It's got 386 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. The audio system actually does leave a little bit to be desired though. I'm not sure if they just didn't put a big enough subwoofer in. There are plenty of speakers and everything. It's just the quality seems a little lacking compared to my Genesis GV60. One more thing I almost forgot about the back seats. There's no seat adjustment for you can't tilt the seat or move it forward or back or anything like that. And these seats actually don't go down. The only thing that you get to access the rear is you get this little cubby hole. And that's it. Now let's step outside and take a look at the exterior of the car, as well as the trunk and what's under the hood. And if there really is a trunk, let's find out. Now, as far as rear trunk space, it's definitely at a premium because there's this giant hump here to fit the batteries and the electric motors. I've got a backpack in here. Let's see if we stand that up. It's not very wide. We've got the cargo mats, and I've got a tripod in here. It does come with a vehicle to load as well as a level 1 EVSE, so just a level 1 charger that you would plug into your house. It's a little windy, so I'm going to hop back in and then we'll take a look at everything else around the outside. Under the hood, we don't have a frunk. We've just got a EV looking, or an EV sign that looks like it have a motor under it. And it's got a whole bunch of high voltage cabling and everything. So let's get this shut and let's go over the rest of the exterior design and everything that I've got for you guys. I really like the inverted Genesis grille. Normally their grille looks like this, but instead they've inverted it this time for the electric model of the G80. It does also have a front charge port, which can be great, though I'm not a huge fan, especially with some of EA's new stations and everything, because it makes it extremely awkward to try and plug the cable in. This car has such a stunning profile, and I absolutely love the 19s on this vehicle, as well as the giant brakes that they put on it. This is the Uni white, and then it's got the brown interior. I don't know the official name for it, but I absolutely love the look of this car. If I were to get one, I'd probably get it in almost identical spec to this, though I might change it off of a white exterior just because I don't really generally love white exteriors. As far as ride quality and ride volume, when you're inside going down the road, you can't tell what speed you're going because it's just so soft, so supple of a ride, and it's quiet. Like, the doors have a very solid thunk to them. The driving dynamic of the vehicle is just amazing. Let's take a look at the window sticker. This one retails for $81,625. That's included the optional Uni white paint, the first aid kit, and the wheel locks. It's got a 136 kilowatt front and rear electric motor. Like I said, it's on a 600 volt system, which is interesting. It does have, what do they call it has the Havana brown interior. That's what it's called. Honestly, this car is just very, 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 very comfortable to ride in. And it looks to be about the same efficiency-wise as the Genesis GV60 Performance. We're going to hop back in. It's very windy and very cold today, so we're going to hop back in and see if there's anything left for us to take a look at.
Real world efficiency in the winter, in the cold and everything, we're seeing an equivalent of about 2.6 miles per kilowatt, maybe 2.7 in more 2.8 in more city driving. And this is around 0 degrees Celsius, 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, around 30 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, with a mixture of city and highway driving. So you'd actually estimate a combined range of around 225 miles for the vehicle itself. And one thing I did forget to mention earlier was the fact that the driver assistance features are actually really, really, really good. So it has absolutely amazing lane keep assist, as well as adaptive cruise control. It also has cameras that come on when you turn on your blinkers. I'll show that in just a moment. So for example, if I turn my blinker on this way, it turns the camera on. If I turn it that way, it turns that camera on. And it's just a really, really, really good driver assistance feature. It also has blind spot monitoring, front and rear cross traffic, collision warnings and everything. So it's just utterly a really safe car to be in. Now, we haven't had the ability to precondition the car because we ran it a little bit lower than we intended to last night, and so the car itself, the battery's just cold, but we're gonna get it plugged in and everything and see how fast it charges. We're down at about 10 to 12%. All right, guys, so we just plugged in at a 350 kilowatt capable station. Like I said, the battery's cold. It's estimating currently 36 minutes to 80%. I've always found those estimates to be a little on the conservative side, so I'd say this would probably take about 40 to 45 minutes to go from 11 to 80% in the cold. Right away, though, we're getting 75 kilowatt, which is definitely a lot better than the GV60 gets when the battery's at similar temperatures, as the battery on this vehicle is currently at, like I said, is currently at anywhere from 3 to 7 degrees Celsius. I don't remember what that is in Fahrenheit, but when it hits a higher temperature and everything, the charging speeds will ramp up and everything. It is also now stating on the station 40 minutes left until 80%. I'd say realistically, the only thing that really holds this car back is the fact that it's got the CCS connector. Not that CCS infrastructure is bad by any means, but it's definitely not quite as reliable as like the Tesla supercharger network and everything. And I think for your $82,000, this is a really great alternative. If you don't need a super long range car and you're looking at a Model S, this would be a great, much more luxurious vehicle, especially if you like Apple CarPlay. Because if you guys didn't know, Teslas do not offer Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So what do you guys think? This is a $82,000 electric vehicle that claims to have about 280 miles of range, and other reviews that have been in more fair weather have definitely shown it to hit that range, at least in mixed driving. Would this be a vehicle that you guys would be interested in picking up? Do you want to see more reviews like this on electric vehicles in the near future? I'm going to try my best to work with some brands and everything, see if I can get my hands on additional electric vehicles for testing. If so, what vehicles would you guys like to see? And again, big shout out to Key Hyundai Genesis of Milford, Connecticut for loaning me this G80 Electrified all-wheel drive. I've absolutely loved it. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.